Welcome to the Short Funk Podcast. I'm Tom Barbalet, and today a reading from Chapter 7 of Field of Chaos, the Jungle Edition. Walking along a dirt road, Andrew turned a bend to stumble upon the dealer and the heavy, just waiting in their truck off the side of the road. Andrew's guard was immediately put up as he noticed the distinct shape of a shotgun that the heavy, in the driver's seat, slid to the dealer under the dash. Andrew had come over a ridge and was looking not only at them, but down into their vehicle at an angle. The jungle was a place where people came to escape, this was clear, but these two had no reason to be out on a dirt road, and no reason to have a shotgun with them. Andrew's mind raced quickly as he decided the only course of action was to smile and raise his hand in a salutation, but not to stop. Just to keep walking past them, and if they had any business with Andrew, they would indicate that. The dealer raised his hand back in salutation and smiled. Andrew kept on walking, considering that he was clearly not the intended recipient of the shotgun. In the jungle, the primary source of income was through cultivating sativa, vast quantities of sativa. It seems that Manica and his original companions, when they had bought their land, had also begun cultivating special isolated weed straight from the 1970s. Unlike all the other sativa in the nation, they had been able to keep the strain pure, and due to the local soil and climate conditions also be able to adapt it to the jungle environment. For this reason, when harvested, this illicit crop produced a premium and was only sold to a selective group of sources through the eastern part of the nation. Obviously, Andrew wasn't given specific numbers, but it appeared the crop annually supplied the community with enough money to survive and occasionally splurge on large-ticket items. When Kingston had stayed with Gordon the year earlier, he told a story of a helicopter that had been bought by the community a couple of years before. The only evidence Andrew had of this was a grainy image he found on Manica's jungle electronic bulletin board system prior to his travels to the jungle. The original plan with the helicopter was to run counter-surveillance against the police. However, due to a mechanical failure, the helicopter came down in an area where it couldn't be rescued and was lost to the police forces. Andrew didn't get a sense of how expensive the helicopter would have been, but it appeared that some part of the annual budget generated from the community crop went into militia-like purchases. Andrew's influenza moved to what he thought was appendicitis. For this reason, Andrew left his companion Gordon to find Manica and explain the situation, so when his appendix did eventually rupture, he could be driven the 1.5-hour drive to civilization. Andrew found Manica in the bulletin board caravan. A bulletin board system was a computer with a modem attached to it that would act like an electronic mail repository. This would provide both incoming and outgoing electronic mail. Maybe once a day or so, a modem would call into the BBS and pick up any outgoing electronic mail and deliver any incoming electronic mail. Manica had been an electrical engineer in the straight world, and had appeared returned to teach classes occasionally with electrical engineering. He and his companions set up the community in the jungle with proceeds of setting up the first electronic betting system in the nation, or so he told Andrew. His knowledge of communications and computers made him an obvious choice to run the jungle bulletin board system and handle the electronic communications coming from and going to the jungle. The bulletin board system was also the only phone line to the outside world. There was a payphone at the road crossing, but the bulletin board system was on the property. Manica liked the companionship of someone to talk to about electronics and programming. There were 3 computers dotted around various buildings and caravans. They were in various stages of disrepair, but Andrew offered his soldering services and was able to fix a good number of the problems. Manica showed Andrew a database he maintained of various plant and animal species he had found on the property. He mapped the information in terms of locations and dated when he had found them. This was displayed graphically as Manica showed Andrew with some pride. Time was a friend to Manica. He had all the time in the world to tinker on his various projects. So concludes the reading of Chapter 7 of Field of Chaos, the Jungle Edition. I'm Tom Barbalet in San Jose, signing out.